Hello, Karen.
Hello.
It's good to see you. So, we're just here together to talk about our mindfulness workshops that we're going to be doing. And I just thought it would be good to hear a little bit more of background for who it is for and what it is about. So, I wanted to start asking you, I went to see Ruby Rex the other day, and she has a wonderful way of selling mindfulness, doesn't she? And she talks about neuroplasticity, and she says, this is such an amazing thing, it should be on the front page every day, basically. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is, this neuroplasticity, and how it relates to mindfulness?
Yeah. So it means really simply that our mind and brain is plastic. It's highly plastic. That's what neuroscientists say and have researched in the last 10 years, so it's relatively new. And so it means that our brain can change.
So do you mean with plastic flexible? It's flexible?
Yeah, it's flexible,
Yeah.
so it can change. That's really in the neuroplasticity.
Okay.
So what happens in the brain is very, very, very complex and complicated. But we can imagine it as when we form habits of thinking and behaving, it happens because neurons in our brain fire, and then when we repeat patterns of thinking, particular ways of thinking and behaving, similar neurons get fired, and then they wire together when we repeat something.
Yes.
And that then, after a while, becomes a habit of thinking or a habit of behaving. Or we can think of it like a groove that is being formed in the brain when we repeat something. Yeah, it's like a groove.
So does this mean, just so that I get this right, if I have a depressive way of looking at the world, expecting things to go wrong, that if I repeat, is this the wire together, that I repeat myself in my behaviours by thinking like this? And is this something that mindfulness can help with?
Yeah, definitely. So when we have repeated thoughts, and this is not just when we are depressed, this is when we have particular unhelpful ways of thinking about ourselves. For example, when we repeatedly think that we are not good enough, or I can't do this, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm stupid. When we repeat it, those neurons that are fired when we think that wire together and form a habit, and that then becomes an unhelpful habitual way of thinking. And that has an effect on us. And mindfulness can help us become aware and form new habits of thinking. Okay.
So then we kind of loosen that attachment of thinking and doing in a particular way.
In the way we form negative, unhelpful habits. Neuroplasticity basically now is saying, if we form negative, unhelpful habits in the brain, we can form positive, more helpful habits. And mindfulness can help us to become aware of the unhelpful habits. And when we are aware, we can do something about it.
I mean, what you're really saying is that mindfulness can help us get beyond our past, isn't it? That even though we feel we're formed in a particular way, mindfulness can help us in forming ourselves in a new way, reforming ourselves in a way.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, because mindfulness really is about paying attention to ourselves and becoming more aware of what's going on in our mind, of our thoughts and patterns, and what we do, our behavior, our feelings, our body. So the more we become aware, the more we can change and do something about it. So we have more choice. We can make better choices.
Okay. I mean, mindfulness has been really in the news, isn't it? It's now also in the guidelines, so it's been widely used in the NHS. And I guess, do you really feel that it's as amazing as it promises to be? Is this your experience as well, what you see working with people, teaching them mindfulness?
Yeah, I personally say it's amazing because it's been my experience. So I've come to mindfulness through my own personal issues, if you like. So I used to suffer from very high levels of anxiety, particularly in the early hours of the morning, sort of waking up and then having high heartbeat, sweaty, catastrophic thoughts about what might happen to me in the day or week or generally in life. So very, very anxious. And that basically has brought me to mindfulness because a friend said, you know, why don't you try mindfulness and meditation? I'm sure it could help you. That's how I got into it, really, through wanting to change my life, if you like, and have a better experience of my life. So it is amazing. And what I want to say, though, is mindfulness is a practice. It's not a quick fix. So generally, when we start practicing mindfulness, nothing very much happens to begin with. So it's a cumulative practice. It has a cumulative effect. So it's amazing when we sort of begin to notice the power of mindfulness and how it can help us.
I'm just curious how your sleep is now.
Well, now I hardly ever wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and when I do, when I am maybe a little bit anxious about what's going on in my life, I still wake up at times, but now that I know how to help myself with mindfulness practice and tools and exercises, I can go back to sleep, which is really rather wonderful. So I don't have to be at the mercy of my catastrophic thoughts that are just catastrophic thoughts. So I can come back to the moment, to lying in bed, to calming myself down, and then going back to sleep.
That sounds great. What I also hear sometimes is that people worry that they can't really do it, that they think, oh, I have too many thoughts, it's not really for me, this meditation stuff. What do you think about that? What's your...
So I often hear that, and mindfulness and meditation is for everyone. So just to clarify, meditation is just one way of practicing mindfulness. It's just one practice. So, and mindfulness is it's a natural capacity of human beings, if you like. Everybody is capable of being mindful and of practicing and learning to be more mindful. Some people do that naturally without knowing, and we all have moments where when we are really present, when we feel we are really in the zone, or particularly that happens when we enjoy something, and we naturally focus on something and are immersed in something. That's really mindfulness at its best, really present, really aware of what's going on inside and around us. So it's really for everyone. And I think it's a story already when someone says, oh, it's not for me, you know, and we can challenge that. And say, oh, is that really true? Is that not for me? It's for everyone. We have to want to learn it. And it's a bit like any other task, like learning an instrument or practicing, doing physical exercise. You know, we want to do it, and we have to do it regularly to feel the effect.
So it's like building up a muscle, building up our stamina, our strength in a way.
So, you know, going to the gym just once, we know it feels good straight after, but it doesn't build our muscles, and they doesn't build body strength. So it's the same with mindfulness. It's a mind training, as exercise is a physical body training.
So it sounds like a skill for life. Is that what
It's
it
a
is?
skill for life,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've been practicing now for 9 years.
Wow.
And if
okay.
I stop now, you know, I would lose some of it. I also like to compare it to learning how to play an instrument or
Yes.
learning a language.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have to really keep at it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and that's really something we can trust, is when we really want to do something and we begin to feel the effect it has and it's positive, we naturally want to do more.
Yes.
We naturally want to do more.
Yeah.
So it's not a chore or a huge amount of effort.
Yes.
Because I think when we do make effort in our life, that is what is really meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much.